Standing on the sofa till the party's over. Champagne spilling on my fresh new pair of loafers.
Hello, everybody. This is Hans Appen. I am in the studio here at the Appen Podcast Network, and the reason I'm here is that I am joined by the newest host of an Appen Podcast Network show. Pretty excited about it. The show is called The Ben Burnett Show, and joining me today is the host himself, Ben Burnett. Ben, what's going on?
Hans, I appreciate the opportunity. It was a really difficult decision for me to choose what podcast network I was going to go with respect to it, but I just felt like at the time the Appen Media Podcast Network was best for me and my family.
I mean, the money was right.
The money was absolutely right. I believe my one question back to you was, can I sell advertising? And the answer you gave me was...
Absolutely.
The answer from you was absolutely.
That's part of the contract.
And so I don't have a lot of creative control over the music that I'm sure you're going to dog me with, or the T's and C's.
I think the first time you'll be hearing the music is when it's live on iTunes.
I've ventured to guess that it will be aggressive.
Well, I mean, it fits your personality.
Does it? The one thing that the one thing I really wanted to go after was that there are people in this community, as you guys center mostly around politics on the Black Box, liberal politics on the Black Box podcast. It's absent besides myself and Senator Albers.
I was going to say, you've been on the show twice now. What are you saying?
And for a while, I was by far the most conservative person that had ever been on. And then, the statewide races came out, and there were people that had to run as far to the right as they could. But there are people in this community. There are good stories. I've got Speaker Pro Tem Jan Jones has agreed to come on. And when I just said I don't want to only talk about politics, we won't. She'll be fun. Cadillac Jack from Kicks 1015.
Okay.
I've got some people that personalities from HGTV. And there's a lot of people out here that you have heard of and that and have never really gotten the opportunity to tell their story. And I think that that's something that we really need to try to do a better job in this community, because this place is a embarrassment of riches. And you could have your own boy band. You could have your own political network. You could have your own sports team. It's absurd. And the smartest, I'm absolutely convinced that this is the smartest, most well-educated, well-rounded, diverse place in the whole state of Georgia, and it's not even close.
So is that what you're doing on the Ben Burnett Show? You're telling their stories?
I'm going to let them tell their stories.
Okay.
I'm not going to... the only thing I really wanted the opportunity to do was to not specifically talk about political stuff all the time.
Okay.
And that's not that hard to avoid.
Right.
And I feel like, it's as a guy who sits here and lights up ratings for the Black Box podcast, I wanted to...
You are number 4 and number 8 all time on the downloads list.
And I've beat some heavy hitters.
You have.
And I'm not going to apologize for being good at it. If there are people out there that want to beat me in the marketplace of ideas, I'm sure you'd give them a podcast too.
Absolutely.
I bet they don't make as much. I bet they don't make as much money as I do.
No. In fact, you've already got an advertiser for your first show, which will be coming out pretty soon.
And honestly, I'm one for one. I reached out to. There are tons of businesses out in the community that want exposure and want something. And I honestly had no idea what it would take or cost or what it even looks like to generate a contract in this space. But I'd reached out to Wendell Strickland, who's a guy at the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce that does an outstanding job. And he offers solutions around small businesses and health insurance programs. And when you hear him talk about the health insurance marketplace in a couple of weeks and what insurance should look like and what it used to look like and how you can still go back there, it's pretty remarkable as to what people still are able to provide as a service in this day and age where things just get so much more expensive and healthcare costs are soaring. When I thought him and knew his business model, I thought, you're somebody who needs to come. You're absolutely somebody that needs to come on. And he's like, well, can I sponsor it? I said, absolutely. Nobody is as greedy a capitalist.
We don't turn down money on the Ben Burnett Show.
We don't turn down money, period. That's the only thing I'll say about that I'm really surprised by with Appen Media and as left leaning as you guys are, is that you've never met a dollar you didn't want. Hey, Ray.
Yeah. Hey, Dad. I don't know about that. But no, that's exciting.
Tongue in cheek. It's always fun. I always appreciate anybody with a little shoot back.
Leave it in.
Well, yeah, you should leave that in. And my sole goal is to make sure that I'm the number one podcast in your network and to let you know about that as often as I can.
Well, challenge accepted. That's a high bar to clear. But no, we're excited about you coming on board. We're excited about Wendell sponsoring from the get-go.
Yeah, just jump in.
That'll be great. Call us up. We got more spots open if you want to be a sponsor, be a part of this movement.
Yeah,
Ben's putting together.
It's not a podcast. It's a movement.
It is a movement.
It may be a bowel movement, but it's a movement. But I wanted to be able to provide access for people to tell stories and talk about things that were from a diverse range, product set, marketplace. You don't get an opportunity to talk about somebody that really knows the ins and outs of healthcare legislation, and he works hand in hand with the governor looking at solutions. And I thought, man, you have got to come on and talk about that, because there's one thing everybody in this country absolutely hates, and that is health insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. We can all agree on that one.
And I love to pick on them. We'll try
find some common ground.
We'll pick some fights we have no business picking. It'll be fun.
Okay. Well, and I'm excited about your first show. So you just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that one, what we can expect in the first show.
So if you watch Channel 2 Action News tonight, the Department of Revenue has decided to execute search warrants on people that have exotic motorsports cars that are registered into Montana LLCs. And they found them, Big Brother found them through their Peach Pass driving on express lanes and wondered why there were so many Montana cars. And they figured out that there were sales tax ramifications. And they've decided that that they're going to start enforcing that. And, we just talked about the legalities of...
And who was the guest?
The guest is a guy named Ed Bolian. He owns a software app. He lives out here called VinWiki. He has 500,000 YouTube channel subscribers, and the money that guy makes from being a YouTube star is hilarious. And he never ever thought that
or infuriating, however you want to look at it.
And maybe maybe podcasts are fine, but maybe we need to be YouTube in this
one step at a time.
Yeah, well, they give him an Ed McMahon sized check every single month.
Okay.
So
money talks.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, sooner than later. We'll throw a little snippet of that interview into this show just so you can get a little taste of what the Ben Burnett Show is all about. And then the full episode will be available to be downloaded on Monday. So you can get that on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, basically wherever you download a podcast, you can check it out.
Yep. And we talked about everything from as an exotic car guy in the business to the famous people in his cell phones to how you get to a place where you procure those vehicles, the fastest place you can drive in Atlanta legally or illegally. And it was a whole bunch of things. We just came straight out of the gate and just lit up the blowtorch. So it'll be fun.
I can't wait.
Thanks, Hans.
All right.
I've got two questions. One, I would imagine that you don't leave that business or Lamborghini Atlanta without famous people in your cell phone.
Yes.
One, who is the most famous person that is in your cell phone? We'll take two or three.
Okay.
Or we'll take one.
I don't know. We got a lot of hip hop artists and things like that. So like, Usher and Lil Wayne and Akon.
Maybe you can make this happen for me. I really would like to get Lil Wayne to do my theme music for the podcast moving forward. If you can make that happen, we'll...
What is the substance abuse policy in this studio?
Oh, you want to get him to come in? Just have him rap?
That would be an issue. Yeah, the customized freestyle Ben Burnett Show intro.
This is not monitored by the FCC, so he can literally say anything he wants.
Oh, wow. He would.
We may not print that or play it, but then again, we may never have better ratings.
Standing on the sofa,